before everybody says it, yes, I know all the showcases from not E3 happened already, and I'm late. And you're probably saying, "What's the point of this video?" I'll tell you what's the point of this video. I don't fucking know. But the point I'm trying to make is that I know I'm late. Fuck all of you guys that have a problem with me being late, and we gonna do something a little different. Since I am late, what I'm gonna do in this whole entire video, instead of doing separate video explaining my thoughts on all the showcases from the Microsoft showcase, from Capcom showcase, all the showcase, even the Nintendo recent direct that we have, I'm gonna combine it all into this one fucking video. This is going to be the ultimate review showcase. Ultimate showcase review. Stars, explosions, woo, all that bullshit. But yeah, this is gonna be all you need to know about my thoughts on the showcase, even the Nintendo Direct. So, without further ado, we're gonna begin. But before we begin, there will be timestamps in the description box below. So please, I don't want to hear that this video is too long. It's too much. Oh my god, MrDegenerate, it's too long. Shut the fuck up. You can just get to the timestamp in the description box below. Without further ado, also, I'm not going over every single game, so you don't have to worry. I'm just going to talk about the highlights of each show and just give a general opinion, thoughts on the games, and also just wrap it up by giving a score. So we're going to run through this as fast as lightning, like my boy the Flash. So let's go. So we're going to do things a little different here. We're going to talk about Nintendo first, since they had the recent showcase, they had their Nintendo Direct, and I always say I'm not a huge Nintendo fan. I don't really care for Nintendo all too much, but I've always given Nintendo props when they do right, and I just feel like I don't really have no complaints with Nintendo. I just realize they don't make games for me, but once in a while they'll be like, "Here you go, Mr. Generate. Here's this fucking Here's this graham cracker. Here you go. There's your treat." So for me, for this conference, one thing I picked up on was that this was the Mario conference, and they had a lot of Mario game announcements, which I think is a good idea, especially since we just recently got out one of the biggest video game movies out right now was the Mario movie. So that's good. So let's capitalize on that hype by giving out some Mario games. And I'm just gonna go balls deep into some of these lists. Super Mario RPG. Now, I've never played Mario RPG. I know, like the Paper Mario series. I think it's an RPG as well. I'm not too sure. Don't fucking quote me on that. Again, you're talking to somebody that don't really play Nintendo games like that. But I'm looking forward to this. It is basically a remake of the original game from the Super NES, so that's kind of cool. Like, I'm glad that we're getting a remake. It looks dope. I just realized Bowser is part of your team, so that's kind of interesting. I wonder what's the story reason why Bowser is part of your team. But overall, it just looks amazing. I love how everybody just looks like somebody stomped the fuck out of them, and they all look squashed. But yeah, it looks cool. I'm looking forward to trying it out. I think it comes out November the 17th. So go check it out. You could go pre order it now if it looks interesting. So go try it out. Then we have a Princess Peach game that's on the works. They didn't show much. I don't fucking know what it looks like. I don't really care. I love Peach. I think Peach is cool, but I don't really care for her games. Again, never really played them. Never really cared for them. So for me, this didn't really do much for me. But it's cool to know that she's getting her own game. Again, a good way to tie into the movie since she was very prominent in the movies. So shout outs. Nintendo's making smart decisions. Smart decisions on Nintendo. Good shit. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon HD remake or HD remaster. It's not a remake, it's a remaster of the classic game. Again, that's dope. I love that Nintendo's porting some of these old games HD, giving them that nice coated HD paint and giving it to the Switch owners. That's dope. Especially it makes up since I was really looking forward to um in the Mario movie that we were gonna get our own Luigi's Mansion segment, and we didn't get that shit at all. So I think this is kind of like a good like apology. I will be trying this out, so I'm happy about this. And then you have Raging Rabbits. Remember when Raging Rabbits used to have fucking Rayman in it? But you know, the new DLC's coming. Don't give a fuck. I want Rayman. I know the first DLC had Rayman in it, but can we get an actual fucking Rayman game? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, can we actually get another Rayman Legends type game? I'm just saying, where he's the star. Fuck these fucking bunnies. I fucking hate them. Get them the fuck out of fucking Rayman, bro. What the fuck? They pulled out Big Dick Energy. They pulled out Big Dick Energy. They pulled out Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And I gotta say, this game was kind of fucking dope. You got Daisy as a playable character, 4-player co-op. Mario gets turned into a fucking elephant for some reason. They said now that all the items in the game or certain power ups can now talk. That's kind of cute. I wonder if you can customize and make your own, like have them say certain things that you want them to say. That would be kind of dope. Um, so the game looks dope. I can't wait to play it. Until that shit said October the 20th. Now, October the 20th. Let me ask you something, my dear web warriors. I don't know, but for me, when I saw October the 20th, um, my spider sense was tingling so fucking hard. I was like, wait a minute. What fucking beautiful game is coming out October the 20th that has two web slingers and one of them is wearing a black suit? And my spider sense was going crazy. It's going crazy. It was going hard. And then something told me, look at my email. And then I saw that beautiful collector's edition that I bought of Spider-Man fucking 2. And then it said October the 2nd, October the 20th. And I said to myself, why the fuck would they put that next to Spider-Man? But it's Nintendo. Nintendo fans don't give a fuck. They will buy anything. So I was like, that's ballsy, ballsy. But you all know I'm going straight to that Spider-Man. I'm sorry. I already purchased the fucking collector's edition. I'm on board. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm all in them fucking chocolate walls. That is that Spider-Man Black. I am all in it. Insomniac has my money. They can do what the fuck they want. This is gonna be an amazing game. So I have no time for a fucking this Mario game. I'm gonna buy it to support it, but I honestly don't have time for it. So that kind of sucks. Star Ocean, the second story arc. In my entire life, I've never touched a Star Ocean. But I gotta say, I'm looking forward to playing this. Like, this shit looks dope as fuck. There's two different characters. I believe you can switch in between both characters, or you play one person's story, and then once you beat the game, you play the other person's story. And depending on what you do in that game, you have different outcomes, different stuff that will happen. I think that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of dope. I'm looking forward to playing it, and that's all I gotta fucking say on that. Oh, and it comes out on my birthday, November the 2nd, so I feel very fucking lucky and happy. So I'm definitely gonna check it out. The Metal Gear Solid Master Collection and the Arkham Trilogy is coming to the Switch. Both two amazing franchises are finally going to be able to be played by Switch owners. I am very happy about this, especially especially fucking Arkham trilogy. The Arkham trilogy is the trilogy that got us the Spider-Man PS4 game. Um, this is Rocksteady at their finest. This is Rocksteady holding no bars. This is Rocksteady at their most purest. Up to this day, I still think they're one of the best video game licensed media of all time. The Arkham trilogy is amazing to me. I love the Arkham trilogies. If you never played it and you're a Switch owner, this is the perfect time. I actually am curious how the Arkham Knight is going to work on there. However, I'm so happy that Switch owners are going to be able to play this. Like, this is like the definitive Batman experience. The only thing that's missing is Arkham Origin, but then again, Arkham Origin wasn't done by Rocksteady, and most people don't even like it. I personally like Origins. I think Origins is actually pretty good, despite the fucking story being ass. There's a lot of good shit in there. So overall, check that out. And the best part about the Metal Gear collection is that it's coming on the PC, so I don't have to touch the fucking Switch nor the PS5 to play this shit. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. I've asked for years. Konami's finally doing something right. I don't have to play any of the Metal Gears on my fucking PS3 now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And to wrap this all up, the Pikmin. Pikmin 4 and Pikmin 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch. Pikmin 4, I have no interest in, so don't even ask me. I think it's like whatever, don't care, but it is what it is. But Pikmin 1 and 2 actually piques my interest only because I would maybe want to try it and see, based off of those two games, if I would like to play Pikmin 4. That's just my humble opinion. Overall, if I had to give this conference a grade, I would honestly give it a 7.5 actually. I'll give it a 7.5. There was a lot of good games. I, again, am interested in the Mario games. A lot of the Mario games they announced, I'm interested in purchasing. And again, the simple fact that they announced that the Arkham trilogy is coming to the Switch, to me, makes me happy. As a huge fan of the Arkham trilogy, I'm happy about that. So, a 7.5, that's a pretty good score. And we're going to move on. Oh, Capcom. Capcom. So, Capcom. So, I'll say this. I want to give a huge happy anniversary to Capcom. You know, this is their 40th anniversary. I want to give a huge shout outs to that because I remember the dark ages of Capcom, and there was this one moment where they were going to get sold off and file for bankruptcy, and it was the darkest time to be a Capcom fan. I remember the dark ages. It was looking grim for us Capcom fans. But over the past few years, the last 5-6 years, Capcom has done nothing but fucking excellent work. Fucking nailing it. They just been nailing it after hit after hit. This year alone, we had Resident Evil 4 remake. One of, if not the best Resident Evil remakes, if not the best remake ever made. You know, and then, you know, we had fucking Street Fighter 6. And everyone's enjoying that. All the casuals and all the fucking FGC people are just loving Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is golden. And I've been so blessed to be alive to just see the growth of Capcom and see how far they come back. To see that Street Fighter 6 made 1 million copies in just a week or so brings me with joy. Almost makes me want to tear up. That being said, I love Capcom, but they fucking suck donkey dick at presentation. Like, seriously, they gotta stop doing these showcases. They're a waste of time, waste of money, and waste of budget. Fuck them. Stop doing them, because you have nothing to show us. Literally, this presentation can sum up as simple as this. We have nothing to show you. By the way, we delayed this game called Pragmata like 5 times. Even the newest game they showed off, the newest game they announced at the Xbox showcase, Path of the Goddess, even that, they didn't even show new gameplay for it. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, that was the one of the most anticipated games I was looking forward to at the showcase, because that game just looks like Onimusha mixed with Devil May Cry, mixed with fucking Okami. Like, I don't know, something about it just was clicking, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to learn more about this at the Capcom showcase. And the only thing that they said was that it's supposed to be like a fucking strategy combat style game, puzzle combat game. I don't know what the fuck that means. So I have no idea what the fuck this game is. And then again, Pragmata, new IP, delayed again. And it's like, okay, at least again, the way how they've been doing the delays is kind of cute. So I'll give them a little pass. They just show a glimpse of gameplay. I still don't know what the fuck this game is. So I have no idea. I have no idea. And even the game I was most interested in, for my boy Itsuno-san, Mr. AKA Devil May Cry, Mr. Devil May Cry himself, Dragon's Dogma 2. Nothing we already know. He just went over basic shit that everybody who played the first game should know by now. So, I don't know what was the fucking point of this. Nothing. Not even just an announcement or a teaser for Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways remake coming. Nothing. Nothing. This was a waste. Waste of time, waste of effort, waste of energy, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. This shit is getting a 4. The only reason it is not getting a fucking 0 is because of one thing and one thing only. Mr. Itsuno-san was fucking there, and my man was looking ballin'. I'm hyped. I'm excited. He could do no wrong. Anytime Itsuno-san is on screen, you get a point. So, that is all I gotta say on this shit. It gets a 4. Fuck off, Capcom. Then we have Ubisoft Forward event or showcase. I don't really like any of Ubisoft games anymore. They don't make games for me. In fact, I would consider Ubisoft games to be like the MCU of fucking video games. Like, they just come out every fucking year and they're all the same. However, due to the fact that they've been going through a little bit of fucking internal problems and not doing so well, it felt like for this Ubisoft Forward event, they was like, fuck it. We gotta remind people why we're one of the top video game developers out here. And by doing that, let's go back doing the shit that we should have been doing from the fucking very beginning. And that is make a fucking actual Assassin's Creed game. I gotta say, Assassin's Creed Mirage looks like an Assassin's Creed game. And I'm so happy to say that. I'm actually happy to say Mirage looks good. I am very impressed. It looks like a updated version of Assassin's Creed 1. I think you're in Baghdad. And a lot of it just looks impressive. They already said, like, the main character, he is like a glass cannon. You can't go up and just like start slaughtering a bunch of fucking people. You probably can. Most likely you will be. But they want you to be an assassin, hiding in the shadows, hiding in plain sight. In the demo near the end, there was literally a crowd of people and you just run into it and just hide. I'm like, ooh. Everything, the traversal looks... It doesn't have the traversal from Assassin's Creed Unity. Like, that has the best traversal system, parkour system. However, this is where I gotta give the game props. I can literally see the Assassin's Creed DNA, the old school Assassin's Creed DNA in here, because there's multiple ways to get around the guards and whatnot and plan out your escape route. And it was really dope and really cool. I'm impressed. Like, I'm impressed. This might be a cop for me. I honestly gotta say. Hopefully they don't fuck it up. Uh, but yeah, I'm actually impressed. Another game that literally took me by fucking surprise. I was like literally shocked when I saw this. Was Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Now, Ubisoft kind of fucked up when they announced that Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake was coming, and now that shit is in development limbo, and now we have no idea when that fucking game's coming out. However, I gotta say, this was a good substitute. And I'm so baffled on why so many people was talking shit about this game and just hating on it. Like, I don't know if it's because there's a black protagonist and everything. You know, if you put anybody other than a white protagonist in a game, like, you know, everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's fucking wokeness, and it's woke, and I woke up to woke. I'm tired of woke. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares what you think. I actually think this looks cool. It actually reminds me of the classic Prince of Persia game, the first Prince of Persia, not the 3D one, the original 2D one. But this time you could do like air combos. They said it's gonna have like Castlevania elements where you can backtrack once you get a particular item, and then go back to that area and use that item to go get that particular said item or said place. um it just looks amazing. Like, even just like they found the way to incorporate the wall run into a 2D playing field. Like, every time you do like a dash, if it's by a wall, he'll do the wall run animation. I'm like, that's dope. And just so much shit you seen you could do in the combat system. Like, there was one time the dude hit the enemy up in the air, shoot arrows in the air, and then use the combat seems deep. I'm all in for this shit. This is day one cop. I'm so surprised so many people hates it. Everyone who's played it said it's amazing, so I gotta check it out. As for the Avatar IP game, Avatar Frontier of Pandora, this shit just looks like Far Cry with the fucking Avatar characters. Don't really care for it. I'm tired of Far Cry. I'm sorry. Far Cry games do not interest me. Um, but this, I think the only part that looks kind of cool is that you can fly on the monsters that in the movie. So that's cool. But other than that, I don't know. I don't really care for anything that they showed with this particular game. But it don't look bad. It just, I didn't really care for it. X Defiant. X Defiant looks like Call of Duty, but way more tactical. It looks like you actually have to be more tactical in it, which is an interesting choice. The time of kill looks like a Call of Duty game. The perk systems look like Call of Duty, but it seems like you have to work together on how to take down a team or how to kill an opponent. I really thinking that's kind of interesting. I would like to try it out. I know there's a beta, so I'm probably gonna try my best to check it out. Last two things from the press conference: uh, Blood Dragon, the Netflix show. I'm sorry, that the guy who was up on stage, the writer or the director of the show, he also did Castlevania, so I owe him a lot. Castlevania is one of my favorite um video game adaptation cartoon shows, anime shows. So this show might be actually pretty good. So I'll say that. That being said, if I'm being honest, I don't give a fuck about this shit. You know what I really care for? My Devil May Cry anime, that what I was promised. You own the rights, my guy, and you still have not done anything with the Devil May Cry franchise. I don't get it, bro. Like, I don't get it. Did you just buy it just to buy it? Like, you own the fucking anime rights. Come on, bro. Like, do something with it, my guy. Like, I don't know. Like I just am not impressed. I'm just unhappy. I don't care about the show. Ugh. I just want to fucking either a Blood Dragon actual 2 game or my anime, my Devil May Cry anime. Please and thank you, motherfucker. Please and thank you. Last but not least, Star Wars Outlaw. I gotta say, color me impressed. I was so afraid of this game. I thought this game was gonna be ass. It did not look appealing at all. When the CG trailer, like it just looked like Fallen Order again. This time you're just playing with a female protagonist, but it actually looks good. It actually looks like the premise of Star Wars 1313, but now Ubisoft doing it. And I think the moment that really sold me on it is that you can go from planet into outer space. There's one moment where she's talking to Imperial Guard, and the Imperial Guard's like, hey, give me all your money, and you have a choice to either like bribe or not, or just take the whole money. And she says, no, fuck that, I'm leaving with all the cash. And the whole Imperial army is like on her ass, like a wanted system. And she had to get out of Dodge, and your ship is there. You go into your ship and you just go out of space, and you're having like dog fights in outer space. That's this kind of Star Wars shit I always wanted, like to actually go from a planet into the outer space, and that's kind of cool. Like I've never seen that done in a Star Wars game. There's plenty of Star Wars games that have done it, but I've always wanted it, and so to see this really, really, really made me happy. I was like giggling, um, and I do like the little monster, the little pet that you have. It can grab items, move ledges, kind of cool. I'm really curious on how the story's gonna be. Only thing I know is that the main character is a thief or a rogue, and they're trying to make the biggest score of their life, but shit's gonna go wrong, and they're gonna be wanted. So I don't know where we're going with the story, but I'm curious. Overall, I thought Ubisoft was gonna fuck they shit up, but they actually did a pretty good job for a showcase. I'm really looking forward to a lot of the games they have in store, and see what happens when you're in fucking bankrupt, or you're not doing so well. Shit, they should be never be doing well because they actually are making games that I'm actually interested in. So if I had to rate them, I'll give them a 7. I really thought they did a good job. Again, the only thing that really bothered me was um, literally some of the games they showed off. I was just like, eh. And it is what it is. But I will say, this did feel like the most E3. So I gotta give I gotta give them their props. I gotta give Ubisoft their props. Round of applause for them. Round of applause. Summer Game Fest. Oh boy. The longest event. Jeff Keighley. Oh boy. I gotta say, I appreciate that Jeff Keighley took up the sword and said, fuck it. If E3 won't be E3, I'll make it E3. And I gotta say, he's been doing a fine job. Not perfect, but I gotta say, it has gotten way better than last year or other years. I think Jeff really cares about the community, so he's going hard. As for the games, listen, we gonna go through this extremely fast. Fucking Exo Primal is gonna have Street Fighter 6 content. Honestly, that game, I don't know. I think that might be the first Capcom game I'm just not interested. I don't know why they even bother. I think that should have been a Dino Crisis game. I've been very vocal about that. I think it's weird that they went with this direction, but it is what it is. But we're just gonna move on. Liza P. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, that's supposed to have crossover with Wulong Fallen Warrior, but the game looks really good. I know there is a demo out, so if you really are curious on how that game is go check it out. And yeah, it looks pretty dope. Looks pretty rad. Warhaven, that game looks like Chivalry 2, but only thing now you can do like air juggles and air or combos and whatnot. More arcadey. I don't know. I'm kind of interested in it. I'll probably if it's available, I'll probably try it out. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. That game looks sick, and it's not RPG. So shit could be cool. I don't know what's the story reasons on why Ryu is doing what he's doing in the game, or Kuruji, or whatever the fuck his name is doing what he's doing. But it is what it is. I've only played Yakuza 0, so I don't know what the fuck is going on in this game and why my man's wearing a suit. I don't know. We'll figure it out when the game comes out, or when I finally beat the fucking series. Dead by Daylight, Nicolas Cage DLC. My man just came out on stage. He was looking fly as hell. My man looked like he was ready to rumble, and he looked like he was actually having a good time. Like he genuinely wanted to be there. Nicolas Cage is fucking awesome. So I think this DLC is kind of weird, but he is a survivor, which is interesting. But it could work. It could work. It could be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Sonic Superstar. This is a day one buy, classic 2D style Sonic game. But now it's 4-player co-op. I'm gonna try and convince my mom to play this shit with me. This is gonna be a blast. I'm in it day fucking one. There's nothing to talk about. We just gonna be in there day one. Alan Wake 2. Oh boy. Um, it just looks really cool. Really dope. It looks like Resident Evil 2 remake. Um, so that's pretty good. That's a good game to steal from or take inspiration from. They said it's going to be way more horror than the first game, so I'm looking forward to that. And they say there will be two protagonists: the detective lady we've seen in the trailer, and also Alan Wake. So that could be interesting. I'm really curious on the how the multiplayer, I mean, how the dual campaign is going to work. Are you going to be able to switch at certain points of the story, or do you beat one person's story and then you go on to the next person's story once you beat the game? I'm very curious on that part. Mortal Kombat 1. Oh my goodness. I got a hot take. I got a real hot take. Ed Boon, Ed Boon. I don't know, man. The more and more I look at this game, the more it just looks like MK11.5 to me. That being said, there is a stress test that has recently come out, and my homeboy Grayson, shout outs to him. He played it, and he had a lot to say, a lot of good things to say. He said that that I would pretty much love it because I did not like MK11. I hated the combat. And from what he and Ketchup and Mustard have said, they have really overhauled the game. But just looking at it, it just seems very sluggish, very boring. That being said, I'm still eager to play it. So far from what I've seen from the stress test, the combos are insane. It feels like now a combo heavy game, and I'm so fucking happy. Um, and also, I'm interested in the story. I've seen already that Katana and Melina are like actually best friends and actually treating each other like sisters. That's kind of interesting, and that Melina's gonna get her teeth because of mutation. That actually has me intrigued. There's a lot of interesting things. It was cool to see Kenshi back, boy, and from what I've seen from gameplay, he looks like a fucking character that just came out of Arc System Works, like one of the puppets characters from Arc System Works that you play as. So I'm gonna give it a shot. The game looks pretty good. It looks like a Marvel versus Capcom game. Like you have your main character that you're playing, but then you have your assist characters. Again, Ebu trying to make this shit sound like this is gonna be like really different. But if anybody knew, actually fucking um, knew Mortal Kombat 11, we already had assists in the game. It was just a lot towards the towers. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to playing and trying it out when the full game come out. We only have what two two more months before that game hits. So they got a lot of revealing, a lot of work to do. So let's get it started, Ed Boon. Let's get to showing some more shit. I also have a question on in terms of unlocks, like how are you doing costumes? Are we doing gear system? Or are we doing costumes? Like how are we doing this game? So they got a lot to prove. They got a lot to prove to me. But for those who tried out the test, you know, so far everyone's saying that it's pretty cool. So we'll see. Then we have like a really kooky game, Toxic Commando. It looks like Left 4 Dead, but what waves of zombies just keep coming and monster just keep coming. I don't really know if people is interested in these types of games anymore. If I'm being honest, I think people are way more like don't give a fuck because Back for Blood didn't do well. So I don't know, but I think it looked cool. I would actually like to try it. I like the premise of it, like you have to go gather material for your car with your friend, and y'all have to mow down. And when your shit gets to shore, your car gets to shore, you have to build it back up and upgrade it with bigger and better shit. That's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool. And John Carpenter is working on it. Is helping work on it. For those that don't know, that's the horror guru, the goat himself. Halloween, but also he did, if I'm not mistaken, The Thing. So, John Carpenter, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Last three things, just to wrap it up. Spider-Man, we got a release date. We already know the release date, October the 20th. The pre-orders are available now. If you're in the US, oh my goodness, you can still get the collector's edition. That is right. If you are in the US, in New York, Canada, and whatnot, you can go to the direct PlayStation website. You can still get the collector's edition if you are so willing to get it. So go, hurry up before that shit gets sold out. I'm on this shit day one. The most interesting news, however, is that Eddie Brock will not be Venom. So that leads into my theory that maybe Venom is Kraven the Hunter, could be Harry Osborn, or maybe it could be Norman Osborn. Who fucking knows? I'm looking forward to. It could be a brand new character as well. I don't fucking know, but I'm looking forward to it. Um, Again, this is my most anticipated game in the fall, so I'm looking forward to it. Then we got Ever Crisis, which is basically QB versions of Final Fantasy Remake or the Final Fantasy games, 7 games, just in QB style, RPG style, which is cool. I know a lot of people asked for that since they didn't want a Final Fantasy remake. So this is cool. This is cool, but some of the games on here I don't give a fuck about. Like some of them I'm never gonna touch. So it is what it is. And it is a mobile game. I don't know if it's gonna be on PC or anything else, so that sucks. But of course, none of that fucking matters. The big boy came through. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Listen, all I gotta tell you is when this game drops, it's over for you cats. The first game was amazing. This second game looks like it's gonna be wild. You got tag team combos now or finishers. You got an open world. Like there's more mystery in the story. There's more like oh shit, like this is like a sequel or alternate dimension, alternate universe. It's a lot to this game, and I'm looking so forward to this. this is gonna be it, baby. This is gonna be it. I'm looking forward to this. If this shit sucks, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry my eyes out. I'm gonna fucking cry my eyes out if this shit is ass. That being said, what's my final verdict? Overall, I thought this was a pretty good show. There was some shit that they showed in here that was not all that interesting. Like, I think the shows, like, no one gives a fuck about Witcher, and no one gives a Twisted Metal. I'll say Twisted Metal has a slight chance of doing well, but other than that, I think everything else is kind of ass. Uh, those shows, but the other information we got was pretty cool. So overall, if I had to rate this, I'm actually gonna give it a high 7.5. Really good, really good. Jeff Keighley did his thing. I was never bored once. I thought the pacing was well, and I didn't even get to talk about some of the indie games. A lot of the indie games in here was actually interesting. So a 7.5, high 7.5 is what I would give this showcase. So you gotta leave the best for last. Xbox. Xbox. Oh my goodness. It has not been an easy road for Xbox. Their back was against the corner after Phil Spencer basically confirmed that they ain't doing so hot in the Kind of Funny interview. Redfall was a piece of shit. And just shit ain't looking so hot for Xbox. So they needed this win. And as I always tell people, when you're in your diest moment, you go hard as a motherfucker. And that's what Xbox did. They went hard as a motherfucker. And for that, I gotta salute them. I gotta salute Xbox. This was 10 times better than what the fuck PlayStation had. And it was almost like the reverse. While PlayStation was focusing on fucking multiplayer, which I don't give a fuck about, but I understand why they did it. But it wasn't paced right. Xbox looked at that and said, we not doing that shit. They focus on the single player experience. For people who care about single player. They had multiplayer stuff, but most importantly, this was single player conference. And my God, it was 10 times better than what the fuck PlayStation had. Now, granted, it started off kind of weird. We had Fable. Once again, I don't know what the fuck we're doing with this Fable game. I'm like, they're saying like they use an in-engine gameplay, and I'm like, that's cool and all. I still don't know what the fuck this Fable game is about. Are you gonna be like taking classic Fable tales and like going through them? I have no idea. So I didn't know what the fuck was going on with this game. Then you had South of Midnight. Looks cool. The art direction looks cool. Have no idea what the fuck that game is. So again. And then they had Star Wars. I already talked about Star Wars. But then they got revved up. They got heat up by 33 Immortals. And at first I was like, oh, this is like Hades. But then when that shit said you could play 30-player co-op, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And like, from what I heard from people who played it, they said as soon as you pop in the game, you could go you could just go in a lobby with people, and everybody, all 33 people have their own unique weapons. So one person will be a sword person, another person will be an arrow person, and so you all have to work together and plan ahead and use strategic planning on how to get past a boss. And I was like, oh, that's fucking sick. So that's definitely a game I want to check out. Atlas, Sega, everybody pulled up to them. And they announced Persona 3 Remake, which was already leaked thanks to Atlas, but whatever. Persona 3, it looks really good. It looks really good. I have not played Persona 3, but I'm looking to get into Persona 3. I heard there's been a little controversy with that game. It's only going to be the original Persona 3, not the re-release that had the female protagonist and other content. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Then, we had the Persona 5 Tactica or Tactics. Looks really, 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 really uninteresting. I have no care for that game, but I don't think it looks bad. I just I don't care for it. I would have preferred Persona 5 Arena, but it is what it is. I ain't mad at them. I ain't mad at them. I ain't mad at them. But you know which one got me like extremely hyped for? Metaphor Re Fantasio. Holy shit. This shit looks like Shin Megami Tensei mixed with fucking Attack on Titan. It just looks incredible. And I think it's because of the UI. The UI just, they took the Persona 5 UI and just said, let's go even more ham. I didn't even think that was possible. But they managed to do it. It looks sick as fuck, and I'm looking so forward to that game. Like, that game looks incredible. It's from the same Persona team, I think the Persona 5 team, and it just looks fucking fantastic. After that, we had Path of the Goddess. Again, I talked about that. That looks really good. It instantly popped to me, and it was like really fucking dope. I'm like, bro, like, this is fucking dope. Avowed is looking like their Obsidian's Skyrim, their own take on Skyrim, and I'm feeling the art style. I know a lot of people wanted a more darker art style, but I actually kind of like the cartoonish look of it. So I have no problem with that. You know, it looks pretty damn good. I know Obsidian is gonna do a good job. They make good games, so I don't have no problem. Then they showed motherfucking Hellblade 2. Listen, I don't want to hear none of you motherfucking Xbox fucking losers talking about you're excited for this. Because if you get this game, excited about this game, but yet you fucking constantly criticize PlayStation for having walking simulator story driven games, I don't want to hear it. Me personally, I'm excited for this. You know why? Because the first game was fucking amazing. And I even love how even more in this one, we're even diving even more into Senua as a character. And again, one of the things I loved about the first game is that those fucking whisper. If you have good ass headphones, you need to play Senua Sacrifice with some good ass headphones. Like the first game is amazing with headphones. I do have some questions about this game, however. I need to see combat. I want to see how they improve the combat. I want to see how they improve the puzzles. Because sometimes some of the puzzles was like really fucking annoying. And, I would really like to see what did they add to Senua as in terms of combat. But other than that, it looks really good. But I will say, and the facial models look even spectacular. However, my concern about this game is if Xbox dudes are really gonna fuck with it, because I don't know if they really interested in a game like that. Me personally, I'm all for it, man. And then you have Forza fucking Motorsports. Again, I'm gonna try this out because motherfuckers, I played Forza Horizon and Forza Horizon was fucking fun. I'm not saying I'm gonna buy it now, but it's on Game Pass. And that's the thing about a lot of these games. A lot of the games they announced, they said they were going to be on Game Pass either day one or coming down later down the line after the game is released. And I'm looking forward to that. I feel like that's a great way for people to play the games and figure out, like, oh, if this is a game worth really buying, it could be a great way to use as a demo. Or if you just don't want to purchase it, just play the whole game. You know, we got to talk about Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty. But before we begin that, it's great to have my boy Keanu Reeves up on the stage. Although my man looked like he just came from fighting like 500 fucking enemies before doing this whole presentation. So my man looked like he was sweating balls. My man looked like he was just like he had a bunch of assassins after him. He had to go John Wick on their asses. But I gotta say, I really want to play this fucking game. Like I really want to play it. Like shout outs to Susie, or Sparrow Hunter. She was the main one that was talking about like how great the game is and whatnot, and I didn't believe it at first, But she was the one that actually dived in, and now she has a cameo in the DLC. We don't know, but I think it's gonna be kind of cool. I'm glad she was the most supportive of the game, so it's cool that she's got in. But as for the DLC, it looks really fucking cool. The premise alone sounds fucking dope. Like you're playing as V and the president's ship gets shot down and you have to go and protect the president. And I'm like, in this city, I'm like, that's kind of interesting. How is this gonna play out? So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this game is gonna roll out. It looks incredible. Um, man, like I'm just excited to play it, but I want to wait until the Game of the Year edition. And I guess the reason why I'm so excited for this is because I watched the anime. Oh my goodness! If you didn't watch the anime, you owe it to yourself to watch it. It is so fucking good. It would make you a believer in Cyberpunk. It completely changed my mind about CD Project Red on Cyberpunk. I still say when the next Richard game comes out, be warned about those motherfuckers. Be warned. Do not give them your money until you see day one reviews. But yeah, like I'm looking forward to this. I hope this really is really great, and I hope we get the Game of the Year edition ASAP because we desperately need it. And then we have I call it Bioshock Infinite too, but it's called Clockwork Revolution, and it's kind of like Bioshock, but what if like every decision you make affects the future or the past? And I'm like, ooh, that's fucking Bioshock. That's fucking dope. So I'm excited to play this. This shit looks like dope. I hope, I pray to God that is on Game Pass. If not, oh well. But I'm trying this out. I'm excited to play this. And it just reminded me, the atmosphere and everything reminded me about Bioshock Infinite. And if you don't know me, Bioshock Infinite is my first Bioshock game. I'd never played Bioshock 1 nor 2. I heard those games are amazing, and I will go back to those games to play them. But I've always loved Bioshock Infinite, even though I do understand the fucking story is convoluted and there's some bullshit, and that I think the game kind of overstays its welcome. I still love Bioshock Infinite despite all that bullshit. Finally, the last thing, Starfield. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is may not been a day one cop. I had no interest in playing Starfield, but now I'm intrigued. All right, I'm intrigued. I have to try this game. Like, just the way how they was explaining this game looks fantastic. Like, fan fucking tastic. The simple fact that you can make your own ship, and you can make it into like, I saw like one person make it into like, in the presentation they showed like one person was making like a Gundam type ship. I was like, what the fuck? At first, I was like, I don't like that the machine that your costume looked like that. It looked like too space. But then, like, they show like different other outfits you can get. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Um, they showed combat. Combat looks cool. Like they said, you could play as different types of different combat scenarios. You can be like using your jetpack. You can have like slow mo. You can do so much. There's even they tease that you're gonna have like Jedi powers. I don't know what the fuck what did that mean, but I have no idea. They said there's like thousands of worlds. I doubt it. I think those worlds are gonna be computer generated and they're gonna be boring. But they said that you could just be flying around and like random randos, which is like either A, come and attack your ship, or B, be friendly and be like, hey, you want to come over in my ship and have a drink or something, and you could bring them onto your crew. You could have a big ass ship and you could have it like basically be like a fucking Star Trek or like the Normandy from Mass Effect, where you need a whole crew to run it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like fucking awesome. This game again. I'm not like, oh my god, I need to play it, but I was like, okay, like this is actually kind of interesting. Like Starfield is really interesting. And then I think the most part that sold it for me was the perk system. The perk system. So in the game, you'll have different perks, but then you'll have special perks. So you'll have a positive and a negative. So for instance, you'll have a perk that's like, you have a fanboy, but and that fanboy will give you like special items, but he'll just come out of nowhere. He's fucking annoying. Or there's this one perk that you are part of this galactic terrorist group. If you run into them, they'll be like, "Yo, just say the line, say our mission," and you can just pass through them. But other places may not like you because you know them. I'm like, oh, that's cool. There was another one where it was like, oh, your mom and dad, you give money to your mom and dad, so it takes off some of the money off of your account. But when you go back and see your mom and dad, you get special perks and special gifts and items. I'm like, this is fucking rad. This whole game is rad. I gotta hand it to them. It looks kind of fucking awesome, man. I gotta hand it to them. They really did a really cool job with this game. My only concern about this fucking game, only concern, is that it is Tom Howard, and I know he's filling me up on some fucking copium. So I know he's probably lying about something. And my biggest issue is this game gonna run good day one? And they already said that, there's no 60 frames. There's only gonna be 30 on console. Honestly, listen, at this point, if you want that type of shit, guys, go play a gaming PC. Go get a gaming PC. Alright. If you want true next gen experience, get a gaming PC. Alright. These consoles aren't going to be able to handle all that shit. So, it is what it is. At this point, I stopped bitching about it because I just be like, throw it on the PC. That's it. So, it don't hurt me. It's not bad. I'm just kind of like, whatever. The rest of the game looks amazing. I can't wait to try it out. And if I love it, I'm fucking buying it. I'm fucking buying it, alright? But no, Tom, I'm not buying your $300 fucking watch. Starfield watch. Fuck off. So overall, I think Xbox came with the heat. They did an amazing job. Yeah, they stumbled at the beginning. And I thought they near the end, made the same mistake as PlayStation did with the peripheral. Like, they announced the Xbox Series X, another gigabyte model. And honestly, I don't give a fuck about the Series S. I've said this multiple times. I think they only needed the X, but it's neither here nor there. Uh, at least they listened to the fans' criticism and actually addressed it, so that's kind of cool. But me personally, I think it's a waste of fucking time. Overall, I thought they did an amazing job, better than fucking PlayStation, and I gotta give them an 8, a low 8 out of 10. They did an amazing job. They had the games. A lot of the games I'm interested in, or at least trying on Game Pass. And they just, pacing wise, it ran smooth. I didn't have a problem with the pacing of the show, unlike PlayStation. And overall, they just showed that they got games. But again, they're running into the problem that, that they always have, is they need to bring these games out and they need to make sure that they're functional. I think Starfield could be that functional, great game that everybody's been waiting for from the Xbox community. I really truly believe that, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. So, to wrap this up, I would say this. Regardless of how you feel, or if your game didn't get announced, or however you feel, you can at least admit this year of gaming has been really fucking good. As soon as October hits, we are in the fucking trenches of video games. I would even argue when August, like as soon as the next Armored Core game comes out in August, we are in the trenches of great video games. And the sky's the limit on what's gonna come, but you know, these games that they showed off was really, really good. And I'm very proud of all the companies except you, Capcom. Fuck you. You should have came with something, show some new gameplays of stuff. But other than that, everybody did pretty goddamn good. Even fucking Ubisoft of all people. But I'm proud of everybody, and you know, can't wait to play some more fucking video games. Now, with all that being said, I know this is a long video. Please forgive me. If you're new to the channel, please comment, rate, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, please let me know, what did you think? What do you think of what game most excited you throughout this not E3 shit? And stay tuned. More videos are on the way. It's your boy, MrDegenerate, signing off. Have a good one.